Coming up on DC News Now at 4.
They can fix this.
Virginia leaders have not included funding for the proposed monumental move in the state's budget. Reaction to the major announcement today.
Plus, how will DC's new crime bill affect businesses in the district? We're hearing from both sides of that debate.
We're catching some dry weather for now, but there's more rain on the way. We'll let you know when things will turn soggy once again.
Then tonight's State of the Union address could have an impact on your evening commute, breaking down the closures you need to know about.
And a major retailer is now offering same-day delivery. How that program can help you save cash on essentials while stretching your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thanks for joining us on this Thursday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalisa Gale. Monumental budget developments in Virginia this afternoon. State lawmakers officially cut funding today for the multi-billion-dollar Alexandria Arena proposal.
It puts a pause on Monumental Sports' plans to move the Washington Capitals and the Washington Wizards to a new arena.
DC News Now's Randy Bass joining us live from the location of that proposed development. Randy, where do things stand this afternoon?
Yeah, Mark, Annalisa, as far as some Virginia lawmakers are concerned, the arena deal is totally dead. But Governor Glenn Youngkin begs to differ. He says that in recent weeks, Monumental Sports has said that their only plan is moving the teams to this site here in Potomac Yard. Earlier today, leaders in Virginia announcing that that budget would not include any money for the stadium deal, the arena deal rather, and this move today gives the district more time to try and strike a deal and keep the teams in D.C. D.C. has offered Monumental $500 million and ramped up new programs aimed at revitalizing Chinatown and Penn Quarter, where Capital One Arena sits now. Today, D.C. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson said in a statement the council still wants the teams to stay and that the offer is still on the table. One person not celebrating, though, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. Today, he talked to reporters in Richmond. He called the move to cut the arena's funding from the state budget a massive mistake. He says he's still optimistic, though, when it comes to striking a deal.
I believe that our Senate and our General Assembly have a chance. They have a chance to stand up and do what's right. They have a chance to assess this one-of-a-kind, first-of-its-kind economic development opportunity.
One thing that did get funding in the new budget today, though, was Metro. We're right next to the brand new Potomac Yard Metro station here at the proposed arena site. Estimates say this station needs between $30 and $70 million in upgrades if the arena is built here. At this point, both who ends up paying for major upgrades here to the Metro station and who pays for the arena itself is still very much up in the air. We reached out to Monumental Sports and Entertainment today for comment on all these new developments we've heard in the last 24 hours, and we did not hear back from them. Live in Potomac Yard, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. Taking a live look outside. It's nice out. It's sunny out. Can't complain.
Yeah, let's head over to meteorologist Damon Matson for a first look at our forecast on this Thursday. Damon, gotta say, I almost wanted to sing. I got sunshine. You know, it was so nice.
I mean, we gotta celebrate it. It's been a rare sighting here this week, to say the least, but we finally got that sunshine to break out here on this much improved Thursday in terms of those weather conditions. Clouds, any last bit of just light precipitation were out of here by the early morning hours, and ever since we have been breaking up that cloud deck as we've moved throughout the day. It has not gone totally clear. We still have had some passing clouds here and there, but again, we have experienced more sunshine than not, and that has had an impact on our temperatures today. We warmed things back up again after a chilly, damp day yesterday. We all pretty much reached into the 60s here. We have some lower 60s across southern Maryland, a little bit warmer into the upper 60s as you move out across parts of northern Virginia. So definitely warming up nicely, and a warm up compared to those chillier temperatures yesterday. We are running around 8 to even 15 degrees warmer than just 24 hours ago when we were still dealing with all of that rain, the mist, and the fog. None of that is going to be found out there here this evening. You'll be able to enjoy the rest of this Thursday going into your Thursday night. Now, with some clear skies sticking around, we will quickly start to cool back down, and by the time we get into the middle of the night, temperatures will have fallen back into the 40s, and it will be a little chilly out there to begin the day on your Friday. But what's most important here is these dry conditions. How long are these going to stick around? When should we expect some rainfall to knock on the door? Once again, we'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. New tonight, police ID the man killed in last night's double shooting in District Heights. He's 29-year-old Devon Brooks. Police responded to the 3700 block of Donnell Drive, and Brooks was found shot in the stairwell. He died at the scene. A second person was also injured. His injuries considered non-life-threatening. A $25,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to an arrest and an indictment in this case.
Also in Maryland, the search for a new fire chief in Montgomery County is back on after County Executive Mark Elrich withdrew his support for Deputy Chief Charles Bailey. DC News Now's Kevon Dupree spoke with the county executive about that decision.
County Executive Mark Elrich nominated Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Division Chief Charles Bailey for the fire chief position last November, but earlier this week, Elrich withdrew his nomination. Elrich says his decision to remove his nomination of Bailey is pretty straightforward. He says there's a process where the county executive recommends a candidate to the Montgomery County Council, and after they ponder the nomination of that candidate, they decide whether to move forward with the process.
Knowing that we did not have the votes on the council, there was no point in putting it back out there.
Elrich's nomination withdrawal comes just days after the Montgomery County Office of the Inspector General found that an unnamed senior fire and rescue employee violated the department's code of conduct in 2019 and 2021. When asked if these findings had any bearing on his decision, Elrich says he isn't able to comment on personnel matters, but says he was ready to put Bailey forward again. The county executive says they will continue to work to have the vacant fire chief position filled as soon as possible.
We know just from our data that the calls for fire and rescue are increasingly becoming health related rather than fire related. And it would be nice to have somebody who's aware of that.
And Elrich says there will be future discussions on whether to search for the next fire chief within the department or do an external candidate search. Reporting in Rockville, I'm Kevon Dupree, DC News Now.
Kevon, thank you. With today's State of the Union address at the Capitol come road closures in the district, along with no parking zones, some of which are already in effect. DC News Now's Mariel Carbone is in the district right now with that warning for commuters. Hey, Mariel.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, I think the message tonight, if you don't need to be down in and around Capitol Hill, maybe avoid this area because it's going to get busy already with the State of the Union not set to start till 9. We've got security in place and some road closures. So where we're at right now, First Street, you can see police already blocking off this road here. There's fencing all up around the Capitol, so that's going to slow you down. Some of the road closures, they already started going into effect on a rolling basis as of 6:30 this morning. The ones coming up at 5:30, you can expect Constitution Avenue, Independence Ave, First Street, D Street, all in the immediate area of the Capitol to be closed. Later at 7 p.m., 2nd Street between Constitution Avenue and Independence will close down. Constitution Avenue, 1st Street, Independence Avenue, all of those closed to traffic. Now, they're not expecting these to open back up till about 11 p.m. and any tour buses coming in the area, they'll also be diverted away. I know just driving down here within the last hour, we saw probably about 10 or so tow trucks driving around, moving cars that may be parked illegally in some of those no parking zones. So as you can see, all of these law enforcement vehicles rolling down the street right now. That's part of the security we're talking about as we get closer and closer to 9 o'clock when the State of the Union will begin. So again, if you have to be in the area, just be mindful. There will be some delays, some roads you cannot travel down. You can get the full list broken down on our website. That is dcnewsnow.com. But for now, live from Capitol Hill, I'm Mariel Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Mariel, thank you. Well, the City Council this week passed a crime bill that district leaders believe will help to deter crime that plagued the city last year.
And the legislation, which takes aim at violent crime, retail theft, and other crimes, with more stringent penalties is being met with both praise and criticism from those on both sides of the debate.
Yeah, our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming has been following this. He spent the day talking to merchants who have been robbed and those who have committed crimes but turned their lives around. Leonard, tell us a little bit more about this mixed reaction.
Many of the businesses up and down this retail corridor here have dealt with the crimes that are targeted in this bill. And while owners hope it serves as a deterrent, there are those who say, critics of the law say that it's too punitive, especially to juveniles prone to mistakes. DC experienced a significant spike in nearly all crime categories in 2023, including a 67% spike in robberies and a 23% hike in thefts. While the Secure DC Act deals with reestablishing drug-free zones and holding people in jail before trial, it makes it a felony for organized retail theft rings.
I think sending out the perception that crime is not tolerated and that there are punishments is important. Do you think this is at least a step in the right direction, and at least something is being done about, that we are trying to protect the community and not tolerate this?
The bill has yet to be formally sent from City Council to Mayor Muriel Bowser, who is expected to sign it. That process could take for about 2 weeks. They have about 2 weeks to send that bill to the mayor's desk. Guys?
Leonard, you've been talking to business owners for quite some time, including today. Do they think that this will actually work and deter crime?
Well, no one sees this as a panacea. They think that with bringing punishment to bear, that this will actually start to deter crime, and people will start to think twice before they make and take these actions, especially in businesses like this here in Georgetown. Reporting from Georgetown, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now. Back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you. Well, a heads up, changes are ahead for Metro riders who take the Red Line due to upcoming track work starting this Saturday and Sunday. Medical Center and Bethesda Metro stations will be closed. Shuttle buses will replace trains between Grosvenor and Friendship Heights. Trains will run every 8 to 10 minutes from Shady Grove to Grosvenor. And also the Green Line trains will be single tracking between Navy Yard and Anacostia. All other train service lines will run as normal.